I am Vig with Local Rings Podcast. I am here with Zaraya Ruiz.
What up, what up, what up?
You are half of the owner of Florida Deathmatch Carnival? Is that
Yep,
correct?
that's right. Florida Deathmatch Carnival alongside of Ruby Flyer. Something we've been working on for the better part of 5 years now. And, now that it's in fruition, it's at its peak. And, we have so much work to do. We're just getting started.
And you had second show this year last night.
Yep.
I believe.
Got my ass kicked. It sucked. But you know what? I do it for the love of the game. I've been a part of wrestling so as long as I can remember. Started at a mere 13 years old, and, it only just took off from there. And then just deathmatch wrestling came along. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
So last night, I don't have a way to show it at this point, but you were on a concrete floor.
Yes.
There's no ring, no rules.
No ring, no rules.
It
no
did
nothing.
not look fun.
Yeah, I mean, anytime, you're on concrete, it's such a risk, but I mean, honestly, there's more fun to be had. There's no rules, there's no boundaries, you can just do whatever
We
the
have
fuck you want.
different definitions of fun.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, different definition of fun. Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
It's is it okay to say you got to share the arena, I guess, with your brother? I don't know if
Yeah.
arena is the right word, but
I mean, yeah, it's fun always messing around with those guys, Fun little story is I actually met them through wrestling. They're not biologically siblings, but, when you're in this so long, you become connected with certain people, and, I consider my brother and my best friend, something that I'm proud to call my brother, and, it's been definitely a rough ride, There's been lots of ups and downs, but, that's with any family, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs, and, sharing I would call it the pit, with my brother.
That's a good
was
term for it.
definitely, yeah. It's either the pit or the dungeon, either or, you can pick that. But definitely sharing the ring with him was honestly just something that I've always wanted. We've talked about it for years, and, now that that's come to fruition and it's happened, I'm happy. I got what I wanted.
that's something I've noticed getting involved with wrestling. Like, it's really just one big brotherhood.
Yeah.
Like, all the talent, every locker room I've been in, everyone is super tight. They're hanging out, they're talking, they're taking care of each other.
Yeah. One of the biggest things that I say about the professional wrestling business is there's going to be toxics. There's going to be negativity. There's going to be naysayers, people who think that can do it. But honestly, one of the biggest things about wrestling is you're absolutely correct. It is a giant family, There's people who go up and down the coast, car rides miles and miles. They go out of state, they fly. But, you built such a brotherhood and a sisterhood with these people. You can't imagine life without them.
You had your last show, the one in was it February or March?
It was March, yes.
You had people from Colorado coming down here.
Yeah,
Multiple people from Colorado.
Yes. I got to meet a lot of them about 2 years ago. I had taken a trip with co-owner Ruby. We had went out to do a show out there, and I got really close with them. And, when Deathmatch Carnival became a fruition, we're just like, I want to bring some of the people from Colorado who have not really ever had an opportunity to do stuff that they wanted and give them an opportunity and a platform to do what they actually want to do and not have a voice in their ear saying you can't do this, you can't do that. That is why we created Deathmatch Carnival, to give the people an opportunity to show them what they're capable of and show them that there's no limitations to what you can and can't do. It's fuck all, fuck this, fuck that, you do whatever you want. This is a place where we all grow together.
And it's, from my standpoint, you guys have been the most welcoming promotion that I've found.
I appreciate that.
When I showed up to the first show, I didn't really know what to expect. I'd never been to a deathmatch show
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
I didn't know who to ask for, didn't know who to talk to, and you told me it's like set up over there, I'll start sending people to you, and I talked to 7 or 8 people.
Yeah.
And last night was the same thing. I set up and just had a train of people coming.
Yeah, that's like I said, wrestling is such a community. It's just a bunch of misfits who just getting their ass kicked, and it's not just for us. We're not here for a paycheck. We're not here for the money. We do this because we're genuinely passionate about this, and even though it's deathmatch wrestling or just wrestling in general, you never know whose heart you can touch. You could see a little kid be like, I want to wrestle when I grow up. You never know. There's so many people that I've run into, or people that I look up to. For example, Sue Young, one of my favorite people in the world, absolute sweetheart. I've looked up to her for years. being able to share a locker room and just having that connection with Sue was honestly something I never thought would ever happen in my my existence. And having those opportunities of sharing a locker room with Sue Young, Madman Pondo, Mickey Knuckles, like people like that, if it wasn't for such the passion that I have, not only just the passion, but the connections that I've built through this, community, it's just honestly, just wrestling is wrestling. And there's gonna be haters, there's gonna be people who doubt us. But at the end of the day, those doubters are just feeding us even more. They're giving us the energy to say, fuck what they say. We're gonna do this not for you, we're doing this for ourselves. And that's what wrestling is, honestly.
Yeah. I've never understood the hate that wrestling's gotten. Like, I know it's at a big popularity peak right now.
Yep.
There's still those people out there that are like, it's fake, it's this, it's that. It's a steel ring with wood supports. It's steel eyelets with a little bit of padding over the top of it on the turn. There's nothing fun about those rings.
No, whatsoever. I will tell you from the experience, it hurts. It sucks, believe me. Like the next day, I'm waking up and my body is just aching. It's bruised to shit. But, coming from an outside perspective looking in, they're going to see it's fake. When you actually get in there and take that bump, or you run those ropes, or you do these high-flying things, and then you understand it. There's nothing fake about it. We're putting our bodies on the line for this business because we fucking love what we do. It's something that we are passionate about. It's something that lights a fire in a lot of people's asses. And there's, like I said, there's going to be naysayers. But honestly, those naysayers are the same people that are watching us, giving that viewership, giving us everything that we need. And that's why we do it. Because, wrestling is such a underrated thing. But once you see what we actually do, not just in the ring, but behind the curtain, then people are going to start to understand this isn't a joke. This isn't just another sport. This is legit.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I wanted to do this podcast. I got into like Chris Van Vliet and Ariel Helwani.
Yes, Chris.
Wrestlers have these amazing stories. Because you don't go to pro wrestling school in high school. You don't go to college for it. There's no tuition.
There's nothing. It's just you find a good school, you find a good trainer, and you just work from there.
And you pay a ton of money to learn the crafts.
Yep.
You don't make it back very quickly.
No. No.
If at all.
Wrestling the business alone is a very tedious business. You're not going to see an improvement right away. It's years and years of busting your ass, trying to put yourself out there. And with me, for example, I started very young, 13 years old. I got introduced to independent wrestling, very close mentor of mine. And he has seen me go through a mental battle of, I don't think I can do this. This isn't for me. I don't want this. He saw through all of that and said, no, you can't do this. This is you. This is going to happen. And I remember the first time I took that bump, and all I could be hearing him, his name is Ace Marksman, a very good friend of mine. He said, how do you feel now? And I said, well, this shit hurts. This shit hurts. But that first bump, honestly, was just like, okay, I can do this. And I kind of worked my way slow into the business. I kind of just started with just doing ring crew and stuff like that, feeling stuff out, seeing what a ring actually looks like broken down, and then I started getting really into videography and photography. I have my own photography business, been doing it for 5 years, and then I broke in and I finally said, all right, let's try this, and then I started as a referee. Started refereeing for about 2-3 years, and then I was like, you know what, I want to wrestle. I want to do this. This is my moment, this is my time, and I want to do this. And, everything was going great for me and stuff like that. I was happy. I was reffing. I was, getting some ref-ins. I had a spot in a rumble. I got thrown out. But that right there was my crowning moment. And then I want to say around last time, I about to say September of last year is, I had a really eye-opening experience. We'll just backtrack a little bit. So August of last year, I had the opportunity to share the ring with Danhausen.
Wow.
Something I never thought I would see or even have the opportunity to even do. And he was like, You take a drop kick? I'm like, I can take a drop kick. I'll take it a couple. So I'm reffing this match. Everything's going smooth. My buddy Bobby Chrono pulls me in. He's like, all right, let's do this. I'm like, all right, here we go. Pulls me in. I saw the hell out of Danhausen. The crowd went wild. Everyone thought he took me. But that was the pop that I had. And then the following month, I unfortunately had a really bad health scare. I ended up hospitalized after having a seizure. And then once I had gotten released from the hospital, I ended up having a stroke. And, you know, laying in my bed, staring up at the ceiling, I thought my life was up. I thought, you know, I'd never step in the ring ever again. And my brother was my rock. He was by my side. My sister-in-law, you know, was by my side. They're like, no, you can't do this, you know. You're going to get up out that bed and you're going to fucking work for this. This is something you've wanted. You're going to do this all over again. I spent 7 months in intensive rehab, learning how to walk again, learning how to even write my name again. I had to relearn everything, even how to drive. And come January of this year, they said, all right, we're going to run some tests, see how you're doing. And they said, you passed, you're cleared. And the moment I heard those words, I just broke. Because I honestly thought, like, I'd never come back from that because it was so scary. First thing I did after I got cleared, went back to wrestling training. First thing I did, because I knew I still had so much in me. I'm so young, like, you know, I'm only 25 years old, you know, I still have a whole career ahead of me and I'm just getting started.
It's you're 25 or you're 12 years in. That's crazy.
Yeah, 12 years in. 12 years in, I'm 25 years old, 12 years in, yeah. Yeah, but, you know, I just see age as a number, you know. In the wrestling business, we have something called the bump card. And once we punch that final spot in that bump card, we know that we've done everything that we can for this business, and, you know, there's going to be a time where you're going to have to hang it up. And with everything that happened with me, you know, I knew my bump card was not full. I knew I had so much still to do that I'm going to not let something that happened to me affect it. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I can keep going for as many years, as many decades as fucking possible, because I have so much out of me. I'm just getting started. You know, we have Deathmatch Carnival. We just had a show last night. Like, there is so much more in me that I'm not done yet. I have so much planned.
And the way the carnival's going too, like, when you do decide, like, all right, I'm done in ring, you still got a promotion you can run.
Yeah,
keep
exactly.
Going.
Like, you know, when that time comes where I gotta hang up those boots, I still got a company I gotta run. You know, I ain't going nowhere. You know, wrestling's gonna be a part of me for the rest of my life. That ain't gonna go nowhere.
So many wrestlers can't walk away for various reasons, and it's when people talk about it, like the way you talk about it, it's in your blood. It's just part of who you are.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think, you know, at first my family, specifically my mom, was like very hesitant about me wrestling, but once she realized how much I love it, she's like, you know, I can't stop her now, you know, she's already deep diving into this, you know, just gotta let her do it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
There's so many stories of that.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio just said that about his own daughter. Like,
yeah. Aaliyah, you know, Dominic, obviously, you got Dominic wrestling and stuff like that, and we've seen his character grow to what it is now, Dirty Dom, and now, you know, his daughter, Aaliyah, is just like, all right, you know, I want to try this too now. It's the same thing, great example, AJ Styles just retired. His son, Avery Styles, just had his first match.
Last night.
And it was phenomenal. I saw those clips come up, and literally, no pun intended, it was phenomenal. You know, I saw those clips of, you know, and just the way, the mannerisms that he has.
The phenomenal forearm is just like his father.
Just like his dad, if not a little bit better. But, you know, it's AJ. And
he's got more spring in his step.
He's got a little bit more spring. He's also a little bit younger than his dad. But, like,
he's going to be fun to watch. Like, I watched his match this morning, and it's like, that looks like a young AJ Styles.
Yeah, and honestly, I think all his kids are going to get into wrestling. I think that's my opinion, honestly, because, like, if Avery's as good as his dad was in his prime, the way he's wrestling right now, who knows? the other 3 boys and his daughter are probably going to follow. Maybe the daughter's going to manage all the boys. Who knows?
You got Stephen Borden just debuted a couple months ago, Sting's son.
Yeah.
And he looked fantastic.
Yeah, man. Even with the great example, the Von Erichs, all of their lineage is deep years back, and you got the nephews running ship now in I believe AEW and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're running around. So like honestly, I feel at some point there's going to be a pretty solid storyline with all the 3rd and 4th generations. That's all going to come to fruition in just one ring.
You've got NXT has Birthright.
Yep.
Which has Lexus King, Brian Pillman's son.
Yep.
Fit Finley's son.
Yep.
Like you said, Uriah.
Mm-hmm. There's so many people out there, even with the Samoan dynasty, like that Samoan dynasty, we got
that's proof that it's in your blood.
Yeah, literally, at that point, if you're in the Samoan dynasty and you're not wrestling, there's a problem there, because that Samoan dynasty just goes back. So you got the Anawais, you got the Fatus, you got Jacob Fatu running ship in WWE right now, and then there's been rumors and talks of them signing Zilla.
Yeah, Zilla was just in town.
Son.
Zilla was in town like a month ago.
Yeah. I've crossed paths with him a couple of times. I've worked a couple of indie shows with Zilla, and he's honestly a great guy, and like he's been training a lot.
He's great when that character flips.
It's game over.
It goes from like the nicest guy, like I want to talk to you and meet you, to like I'll cross the street now.
I'm gonna see you a mile down. We can talk over the phone or something.
Here's my wallet, man. I'll save you the trouble.
Honestly, one thing I love about Zilla is he's living up to his father's legacy.
Yeah.
Honestly, like.
So is Jacob.
Oh yeah.
Like.
Oh my God, yeah. Those Fatus, man, they don't die young. They will keep going until they can't go no more. Yeah. It's the same thing with Alpha and Sika. Like they had their own training facility, I believe out towards up north a little bit, North Florida, and they just. That's another thing with them. They didn't want to give up wrestling, so they started their own training facility.
I am so
the
jealous.
Wild Samoans.
I'm so jealous of the internet age. Like, I'm 45.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get into wrestling. When I graduated high school, the only school in the world that I knew of was the Heart Dungeon.
Yep.
There was nothing in the Yellow Pages. There was no internet to find out what's around me.
No.
And now in Florida, like,
they're everywhere. You just got to know where to look, honestly. You got to know where to look and who to ask.
The NWA has their farm system 8 minutes up the road from me.
Yeah.
So, man, that would have been great when I was 17.
Yeah. I mean, and the Heart Dungeon's still running. You got TJ and Natty running it, and like that's filled with talent. That
Zelina and Malachi have a school.
Yes, they have their own school. You got Seth running Black and Brave out in I think Cincinnati.
Grizzled Young Vets have a school.
Yeah, there's so much.
Dexter Loomis has a school.
Yeah, it's wild how many schools. Even like with the state of Florida, if you don't know where to look, you're not gonna realize there are so many schools out in Florida.
And not just schools, there's promotions. When you finish school, you can pick a
promotion.
Pick a county, and there's probably 10
find
of them.
a promotion. You got Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling out in Tampa. Obviously, you have Anchor Pro Wrestling here, down here. There's so many options. Yeah. Like I said, you just gotta know where to look and who to ask.
Florida's kind of the mecca of the next generation of wrestling, I think. Like,
yeah.
Not only do we have NXT with the WWE footprint here,
yep.
AEW's here every time they go on tour.
Yeah.
TNA, I think, is doing their Hall of Fame ceremony in Tampa.
Yeah, I think TNA, if I'm not mistaken, they got an event coming up in October in, I think, Orlando or Tampa, one of the two. Tampa, that's what it was. I think it's their pay-per-view.
And they're doing a Hall of Fame induction.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody is down here.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you've got the indies, and there's so many.
This state is so littered with indies. If I'm not mistaken, there's actually a portal online where you can see all the independent companies by state. It's the same thing with like referees. I'm part of a group chat on Facebook called The Reference. It's run by Jarrett Fritz, and he is a referee over at the NWA, and MJ Bell, he is over at MLW. So those two have been my referee mentors for the past 2 years now. And us as a community, we didn't have anything for zebras. We call ourselves zebras. So we have created a portal where anyone can look up any sort of referee all over the states, even international. There's referees in, Cuba, Miami, Puerto Rico, like all over the place. They have a whole portal. You just go down that portal, look at the state, see all their information, TV train, CPR train, commute, this, that, and the other. It's all there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've talked to, I know his name's John. I'm blanking on the rest of his name. It's 3-part.
Oh, John Ledger.
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
Like referees have fantastic stories. You guys you have front row seats to the best stuff going on.
Yeah, and I've known a lot of people who went from a referee to wrestling, me included, because the best referee by far, and it's someone I looked up to for a long time, Lee Canfield. Lee is one of my closest friends, and he has done so many matches in his career, including death matches, which is why I brought him in, because that man can work a death match in his sleep. He doesn't even need to know anything. He's just like, do this, cool, that's it.
He was the one there last night?
Yep, that was Lee.
He was even good when the crowd was ragging on him.
Yeah.
Like he knew how to get them off his back. And
Yep, he's good. He's been doing this for so long, so of course he's going to have years and years and years of experience dealing with unruly crowds or dealing with bullshit, this, that, and the other. That's just Lee naturally. And that's why I genuinely love, having conversations with Lee, because he's one of those that has the experience. Same thing with another guy. His name's Rodney Hunter. He's another one of my best friends. I've trained with him a couple times. He's been doing this for a hot minute too. Like those two right there are two people I lean on so much because they've had these experiences. They've done all these things. They've traveled the road. So they know what they're doing. And they're great people to have conversations with. They'll talk with you for hours and hours just about wrestling.
I learned that from Chris Van Vliet. Like refs have the best stories.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because as a wrestling fan, you sit there and you watch the program. You're watching wrestler A versus wrestler B.
Yeah.
You don't think about the ref.
No,
It's
the ref
a good ref.
is
You forget about.
Is the most important person in that ring because you are keeping those wrestlers safe.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong, that referee will jump right in there and throw up that axe and be like, something's wrong. You know how many people come flooding out that locker room? That's why, and it's another thing, like referees are frowned upon as well, but then once people realize they are literally the glue that's keeping this match going, then they're like, okay, maybe they do more than people think, because it's not just in the ring, it's also what happens behind the scenes and outside of the ring.
You got to keep time. You got to keep.
Yep.
If something's just going wrong or we're running late, hey, we got to take it home. We got to wrap this thing up.
And with me, when I used to referee, I still do every occasion. For how I run, I just need to know, how are you starting this match? Are you doing anything crazy? What's your finish? Do you have anything in between? Like, that's all I need to know. I don't need to know point A, B. I don't need to know A to Z. I just need to know how you're starting, you're doing anything in between, what's your finish, and that's it.
You got to be quick on the fly, too, because they get moving in there.
Oh, yeah. You keeping up? That's one thing I learned quickly when I started getting deep into this. Is just like, these guys fucking move.
Yeah.
Great example, and I love him to death. Bobby Chrono, one half of the House of Spades. He had a match with no avail, and I was their referee. When I tell you, those two kept me on my toes. Boy, I'm glad I hit the gym the night prior, because they were boom, 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 boom. Those two right there will fly around the ring. Even like the bigger guys, the other half of House of Spades, Ray Zion, he's a big dude. He is 6'4", 6'5", almost 300 pounds. But this man can move around like he's just a cruiserweight. So those guys like that, you definitely got to keep up your toes, whether it's the cruiserweights or even the bigger ones, There's no in between. It's keep up or, you're going to get hit.
I did the roving camera at a show a couple months ago, and I almost got kicked by somebody just climbing up the ropes because he was in the ring, and then he wasn't. And
he was back in the ring.
And I'm sitting there just trying to keep him in frame, and all I hear is move. It's oh.
I learned that fairly quickly. Right before I started refereeing, I used to be a photographer. I still do photography. I literally wear my hat everywhere, King's A Photography. But I learned fairly quickly, when they tell you to move, you better fucking move because you're gonna get kicked. I've had it happen so many times. My other friend of mine, she's also a photographer. It's like you're in the ocean surrounded by sharks. So when they tell you to move, you better fucking move because you're gonna get hit, or you're gonna get kicked, or you're gonna get hit with that, this, that, and the other. You're gonna catch a foot. So it's definitely important to keep on your toes.
It's been a lot of fun learning about the stuff you don't think about. Like, I'm dying to talk to like an announcer.
Yeah.
I think I'm talking to one today, actually. But
Yeah.
Commentator, just the stuff you don't think about talking and hearing their stories. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's one big unit that makes the show go. It's not just two people in the ring.
Yeah, no, it's there's so many pieces to this. It's not just one person running shit. There's multiple pieces to keep everything together. You can't just rely on one person. Every person has a part in this, and without each person having a part in this, you're not going to have a successful show.
Yeah. So I don't want to keep you all day, but I got 2 questions for you.
Okay, what's up?
First one, I ask everybody. Wrestling is all about those big moments.
Yep.
What is your favorite moment in wrestling, whether it's something that you did or something that you saw somebody else do that inspired you?
Ooh. I honestly think it would have to be the match between the Hardys, that TLC match. The Hardys,
doesn't narrow
Edge
it
and
down.
Christian, yeah. That right there,
The first one or the second one?
the first one.
Yeah.
Whew,
That put all three of them on the map.
That triple threat tag team match, that right there, those men that night just did not give a fuck.
No.
They were just throwing themselves around like it was like there was no air in that room. There was no like they were in space. They were just bouncing around. And then hardcore wise, I'll give you both. I really, and it's someone that's like frowned upon, I really like New Jack. Don't know why, but like that man is one crazy bastard and did some crazy stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
He is.
He threw somebody off a building, didn't he?
He threw some dude off the scaffolding, and the dude was like, "Oh, I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs." New Jack's like, "You're not gonna leave him. You're not gonna need him. Bombs away!" Like he chucked this man, and when he chucked him, the man almost fell out the ring. If I'm not mistaken, I think he did fall out the ring a little bit, but he went through those tables, and everyone was just like, "Oh shit." Because I was a huge fan of ECW. I think ECW was just like
The original, not the
there.
WWE.
No, not the
watered
remake.
down.
Yeah, no, not that watered down bullshit. Definitely the OG ECW was where the fuck it was at. That was like Rob Van Dam, Sabu.
First match I ever saw was Rob Van Dam versus Mikey Whipwreck.
Oh my god, that was
And
a
it's-
good match, man.
It's like, I don't know what. I remember it was Saturday at like 1 a.m. and I flipping channels. It's like, what is this?
What is? And it's like, oh.
And then it's like, just put it in my vein, like just.
Yeah, no, like honestly, like I said, I've always loved wrestling for what it is. It's entertainment. You're entertaining the crowd. You're entertaining your audience, and that's what wrestling is. It's sports entertainment. It ain't fake for everyone out there. It ain't fake because it fucking hurts. It is sports entertainment. There is a difference.
I don't mind predetermined. I think that's a fair middle ground of.
Yeah.
There's nothing fake about it, but yeah, the
No.
match is predetermined. It's like,
Yes, it is choreographed. It is planned, but it's not fake.
Yeah.
You're gonna hurt in the morning. If you want to find out what's fake, you can come out and hit a ring and take a bump.
And then the last question is, how can they find you?
Oh boy. So that's also a work in progress right now. But if you want to find me, I post a lot on my photography page. So Facebook, Instagram, working on Twitter. Twitter's analytics are weird right now. King's A Photography, you can find me there on Instagram and Facebook. You could also follow Florida Deathmatch Carnival, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it. Yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. I'm working on a personal page for my wrestling stuff. It's a work in progress. It's a pain to set up stuff once you have so many accounts set up. But pretty soon, you will be able to find me at Zaraya Ruiz on Instagram and Facebook.
All right. And then bonus question, is there any more Florida Deathmatch coming up this year?
There is actually a part 2. It's currently in the works. We are currently in the talks of having a punk rock street fight part 2 within the coming months. It is something that I am working on. I will probably have an answer for that within the next couple of weeks. I will definitely hit you up because I would love for you to come back out.
Absolutely.
Definitely love having you. And if you're not following this man, what are y'all doing? This man is by far the sweetest man I've ever met, and he does so much for us. He doesn't ask for anything. He just wants to chat with us. That's it. He doesn't push. He doesn't budge. Just wants to sit down and have a conversation. And 9 times out of 10, we want to fucking talk and clear the air and talk shit. Because we all love fucking wrestling, so what the fuck are you doing? Follow him, dude.
What got me into it was a lot. I hated Mankind.
Okay.
Hated Mankind.
Yep.
He did those Jim Ross interviews, and it's like, I love Mick Foley.
Yeah.
And it's, wrestlers have these amazing stories. Like, what if somebody out there connects with your story? And so
Yeah.
it's like, I went through something similar.
Yeah.
I want to come out and support you. Or
Yeah.
if you're a heel, like, I hate you, I'm going to show up and just boo the shit out of you.
Yep.
I'm going to ruin your night. It's like, cool, man, bring it. Like, support the local scene. There's so much to connect with
There's
on a personal
so
level
much out
or a
there.
character level.
Yeah.
Like, come find your flavor, because there's
so much
it's like
out there.
Baskin Robbins. Like, there's 150,000 flavors.
I love Baskin Robbins. That's the one thing that I'm upset about is where I live, I don't have a Baskin Robbins, nowhere in sight. Same thing with Checkers and White Castle. It's a pain. They are building a Whataburger though, but still, I would have preferred to have some Baskin Robbins ice cream with my donut. Can't do that down south though. Frowned upon for some odd reason, but
They're here and there, but they're
they're
few
here
far
and
between.
there. Yeah, they're really, really hard to find. So hopefully at some point in time they give me a Baskin Robbins so I can chow down on some Baskin Robbins.
But thank you so much.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Pleasure to interviewing you always.